What's up, y'all? Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. It's another great day to do some grieving and growing up, but I'm switching it up just a little bit today. So usually, I'm coming at you with the advice on how to live your best life and heal and try to do some grieving while growing up after loss and losing parents and all of that great stuff. But I'm switching it up a little bit. And this is more of a I feel you, let's keep it real type of video. And I'm gonna be talking about 4 of the most overlooked big struggles that I think adult orphans go through when losing parents or not having parents, especially millennials. So if you're in your 20s and your 30s, because it's real and we need to talk about it. Now, if you've watched just about any of my videos, any of those, then you'll know that I lost my mom at 16, dad at 18, and dealing with that as a teenager was its own hefty set of completely different struggles. And if you want a separate video on that, put it in the comments below. But you know what, y'all? Now that I am almost 30, I feel the absence of my parents heavy, even more so than when I was 16 and 18. And I'll reveal why that is towards the end of the video. So keep watching. Now, this first one is a big one. Okay, one of the bigger struggles I thought about when I was making this video, and it is just getting help and advice for all the dang on adulting that life requires of us, okay? From trying to figure out how to do your taxes to buying health insurance and car insurance, how to buy and keep up your first house. What questions do I ask at the doctor? I mean, the list just goes on, and I'm tired. And yes, technically we can Google it and figure it out ourselves, blah, 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 but how much better and easier would it be if we could just pick up the phone and call and get all of that good advice and wisdom straight from our parents, without having to do all the digging. So then we go on to try to find the nearest responsible adult. For me, it was either my aunts or the parents of my best friends to try to ask them what we need. And oftentimes it makes us feel like a burden. It makes us feel like we're encroaching on their time because we're really not their kids. And oh, by the way, I'll talk about that in a different video. But we start to feel like that, and it just makes us realize that, dang, there was a time where I had people whose responsibility it was to help me grow up and help me through these transitions into adulthood. And I could just blow them up and ask them all the things without feeling bad in any way, Just really nothing like getting that adulting advice and experience straight from your parents with that sprinkle of unconditional love that they can only give. Okay, next is having them cook for you and often. And I know we're supposed to be grown and feed ourselves and all that stuff, but I don't care what nobody say. Having your mama put something on the stove for you, have your dad come over and throw something on the grill, when they call and be like, you ate? Well, I made some oxtails, come over, and whole world be made, okay? Top tier. And if anybody says anything different, baby, somebody lying. And it pains me every day to know that I will never know what that feels like as an adult, especially because I love to eat, y'all. I love to eat. And even more, I get frustrated when I cannot remember how to make something exactly the way they made it, okay? From my mama's chicken devane casserole and her pot roast to my daddy's fried fish and these grilled cheese sandwiches he used to make in the oven with turkey and stuff. I can never quite get it right sometimes. And to not be able to pick up the phone and call is just, it's a big L to take. All right, so moving on to not getting any help from them with your wedding and getting married. Y'all, I got married in 2020. And when I tell you one of the most expensive and stressful, but still blessed, things I have done in my whole life, do you hear me? Sometimes I really try to imagine how different that experience would have been for me if my parents were alive to at least see me get married, let alone pay for half. Oh my God, pay for all of my wedding? Ooh, the luxury of it all. And I was very much a daddy's girl. And my mama was very much that girl. She did not play about her wedding in the 90s. So I just know the support and excitement around mine, especially as the baby of the family, would have just been through the roof. So if you want to get married, if that's what you want for yourself, please do it. I hope you find the love of your life. But just know, and do not let anybody tell you different, that it is not a struggle to not have your parents there by your side, okay? Before, during, and after. Now this one is a bit more future tense, but not having grandparents for whatever kids we may have. And I haven't experienced this yet, but I hyperventilate a little and get quite sad when I think about it. I mean, grandparents are your first, set of help when you have children. They're some of the first people outside of you who form that unconditional bond of love with your child and basically treats them as their own. It's like sometimes I think that all the childcare, family, and friends in the world will not be able to replace the space they would have filled. And I know we'll be all right whenever the time comes, but Lord, help me, help us, give us strength. All right, y'all, so it's the end of the video, or getting towards the end of the video, and I promised that I would reveal why I thought that we sort of feel the absence of our parents heavier as adults than when we're children or teenagers. So here's what I think. Basically, when you're younger, when you're a child, when you're a teenager, people are more willing and will often come to your rescue, right? Without thinking it's weird or thinking it's, unnecessary, XYZ. They're willing to support you and help you more. And as an adult, there's the stigma around that you're on your own, figure it all out, XYZ, which to an extent, yes. But then transition into that early stage of adulthood, into your 20s, like your early 30s, it's still a critical time that we need our parents around, that we need guidance. And y'all, there's also the realization that the amount of time in life that we're an adult is like 3 to 4 times longer than when we're a kid or a teenager, right? And so it kind of presents some kind of scary perspective, honestly, that we have this whole lifetime to go and still try to get through and navigate this world the best we can without them. Like, it kind of hits heavy, which is why we have to try to start figuring out how to grieve and grow up and still live our best lives now. Because, honey, we are in it for the long haul. Well, thank y'all for coming and listening to this video, for hearing me out on some of the things that I struggle with as an adult that I think are some of the most overlooked struggles of being an adult orphan. And I'm really curious to actually know how y'all feel about some of the struggles I went over. If you're experiencing them now, if you worry about them, definitely comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And please go ahead and subscribe so we can continue grieving and growing up together. I appreciate you. I believe in you. Be good, and I'll see you in the next one.